Well, both you guys are moving on to sectionals. First of all, Claire, tied for third. What was today like for you in high jump?
I just kind of knew going forward, I had to clear on the first try, and the scratch was really gonna be a big deal, considering you're all pretty much equal in the playing field.
And how do you feel about your heights as you move on? I mean, do you feel like you're making progress?
Yeah, I really improved since the beginning of the season, and I'm just excited to keep getting stronger and working on my form to do even better every single time.
And have you been this far in the postseason yet? Or of course there wasn't a season last year.
Yeah, it's my first time because we didn't have track last year. So.
And kind of what are you going to work on these next few weeks? Is it one of those things where you got your speed or your strength and your jumping ability, but is it more of a technique kind of thing that you're going to be working on here?
Yeah, staying consistent with my techniques throughout every single jump and not worrying about the height and just jumping and knowing what I had to do, knowing what I have to do.
Okay, so it's more just trying to clear the bar instead of trying to clear a certain milestone. Okay, and hey, the relay teams didn't do too bad. Now, how'd you do individually? I haven't checked the stats yet.
I only ran the open 8 today, and I PR'd and got first, and so it felt really good, especially with this past 2 weeks not really having any meets. Coach Dick was giving me a lot harder workouts, and it definitely felt better in the 800.
Now, am I wrong? Did the relay team get a little shift because Paula, I think she had to go back to Germany, is that right?
Yeah, Paula usually, she runs our 4x8 and 4x4, but she's dual sports with soccer, and at her last soccer game, she sprained her ankle, so we had to make quick adjustments in those 2 relays.
And how'd you, now who had to step on there?
Athena stepped on the 4x4, and then we had Justice Brewer step up in the 4x8.
And how do you feel about the team moving on from here? Even though you got a new person there, how do you feel about just kind of moving on? Because you have been in this situation before. What do you think?
I'm pretty excited, especially with this environment. Everyone's so positive and encouraging everyone, and so I'm excited to continue forward and watch everyone do their thing.
And final question, this is to both of you guys, which is, the team was trying to go for first place, trying to be that team that I think it would have been the first time in 40 years. But you got second, though. That's pretty good. How do you feel about the team's performance overall?
I'm really proud of us all because ever since the beginning, we had these goals in mind, and just every day we constantly are working on just being better, especially all around in everything we do. So I'm proud of us for getting second.
Oh, and one question for you, which is, of course, it was the same question I just asked you a few minutes earlier, which is, your times. It's kind of hard to increase speed and strength at this point in the season, but what are you going to work on here in these next couple of weeks?
Basically just continue making the workouts slightly a little bit harder. And Dickie's really good at balancing it out, because I'm mainly just sticking to the 800 besides when I did the 4x4. So just more endurance, more quickness for my kick at the end. So that's what we did the last 2 weeks, and that dropped my time by 3 seconds. So.
Oh, wow. So there is progress you can make. Okay. Well, no, that's all I got. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. And I know who I'm talking to. And first of all, Patrick, was this your first meet back competing today?
Yeah, first meet in 7 weeks.
Wow. And what was that like? Of course, sometimes you can get frustrated with your distances because it's not what you're used to throwing, but how do you feel about your performance today? Third place ain't bad.
Yeah, it was all right. I was nervous for the first time in my high school career because I didn't know how I was going to compete. And I got third. I should have got first or second, but I got third, so it's all right. It's not a big deal.
And how do you feel about moving on? Of course, this is one of those things where you haven't been able to kind of make that weekly progress due to injury, but how do you feel about your distances right now and kind of moving on?
I think they're going to get back up to where they need to be in order to place at state. So I'm not really worried about it, and we just got to work hard in practice.
And Mr. Jefferson, now, did you qualify in the 100-meter hurdles? Is that right?
What?
Did you qualify in the 100-meter hurdles? Is that right?
Yeah, I got fourth.
And hey, that's not bad. Now, what year are you? You're a junior, right?
I'm a sophomore.
Even better. How do you feel about your performance today and moving on to your first sectional?
I feel like it wasn't the best I could have got. My PR is 17.3, but I got 17.7 today. But I feel pretty confident going into sectionals, so I feel like I can do pretty good.
And of course, the team, you guys, everyone has higher expectations and aspirations, but how do you feel about the whole team moving on today? Or not the whole team, but the guys that did move on today.
I'm proud of them. It's been a tough season because of last year, missed all of last year, and I'm just proud of how hard everyone's worked through everything.
And Mr. Jefferson, same question I asked Patrick just a few minutes ago, which is, it's hard to make progress on your times, your distances, but what are you going to work on in these next few weeks just kind of get yourself up there?
Hitting harder in between hurdles and doing a little bit better on my form, but I feel like I do pretty good.
And, how do you feel about just kind of hitting your stride? Do you think you're there right now, kind of peaking at the right moment?
Yeah, I think I'm peaking at the right moment. I feel like I got a little bit more in me, though. I feel like I'm going to push 16.
Well, hey, that's all I got. Well, I know I'm talking to, but, well, girls took second. Hey,
Yeah,
that's not a bad day.
They did a nice job today. Yep.
And how do you feel about their performance?
I thought the girls, I mean, really, everybody played well. We had a lot of kids on both sides. Run really well today, throw really well. Ladies, of course, I mean, they're just continuing their run. They've been solid all year long. I think they've been in the top 3 every single meet. Now it's going to get tougher, of course, to keep that going the deeper you get in the season. But really proud of them. We had a number of athletes move on both sides.
And I understand, you had a choice: try to win it or try to pass as many athletes on as possible. It seems like you went with the latter.
Well, yeah, we also started doing math, and Lawson's a really solid team. And top to bottom, they're a little deeper than we are, so I knew it was going to be really tough for us to overtake them on points. So they kind of helped make that decision for me a little bit. So then we tried to give as many athletes an opportunity to move on as possible. And thank you. And somebody must have grabbed my chair too, so I'll find out where it's at. I'll get it. Yeah, I think we had 6, 7 events for girls go on, and 2 events for guys with 3 individuals. So it was a good day.
And speaking of the girls, they had a bit of a shuffle because of an injury. I believe
Yeah,
Paula injured her ankle.
One of our girls who's a dual sporter, our exchange student, Paula Buchiara, she sprained her ankle pretty badly Thursday night. So that left us scrambling to rearrange some things. We actually had to scratch the 4x2 because we had to shuffle some people. And so, yeah, and then we had to take a girl out of that, put her on the 4x4, and then we had to throw somebody new on the 4x8. And so, yeah, we did shuffle a little bit. But the girls are pretty resilient, and the kids that we asked to step up, Justice Brewer ran the first 800 of her career on the 4x8 and did well. And then we had to throw Athena into the 4x4, which she wasn't planning on. And they stepped up great.
Absolutely. And as far as the boys, of course, you had some guys go by individually. Patrick Greer coming back from an injury.
It's his first time throwing since April 1st or 2nd. Yeah, he came back and got 3rd in the javelin. Bennett took 2nd in it. And then Greer and Jefferson continues to surprise a little bit. He qualified out of the 110s, which is probably the first guy 110 hurdler to make it out of districts from Cameron in quite a while.
Really?
Yeah.
And of course, there's a lot of talent that couldn't make it onto sectionals, and both boys and girls. But how do you feel about moving on without those athletes?
I mean, we had some kids barely miss out. Like Casey Kellerstrass had a really solid season. He barely missed out, taking 5th. And then Javi bouncing back from injury, fell a little short. As well were the closest ones for us. On the ladies' side, we had a couple girls get 5th. Also, so moving forward, we're going to be all right. I hope. The goal is always to get everybody out of sectionals, or as many as you can, to go down to Jeff City Memorial Day weekend. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, yeah, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Fine.